Good morning. This is Don B with Truth Be Told, and we have a couple videos we'd like to share with you today. And before we move to those, please remember to subscribe. Over 80% of the people that view my videos are not subscribers. It was 90s, come down some. Appreciate it, everybody. And on Rumble, give me a plus sign for Rumble up or thumbs up on YouTube. At any rate, without ado, let's go ahead and move to the first report. It says Prince Andrew sued over Epstein's sex abuse claims. What happens next? Prince Andrew, the Duke of New York, is being sued in a New York court by a woman who claims he abused her when she was 17 years old, allegedly as part of the sex trafficking activities of Jeffrey Epstein. The plaintiff, Ms Giuffre, is one of the most outspoken of Mr Epstein's victims and has alleged in numerous interviews and legal actions that she was expected to have sex with numerous men, including some of the wealthiest and best connected in the world, by Mr Epstein and his sometime girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, who is awaiting trial on charges of her own, some of which also relate to Ms Giuffre. Ms Giuffre claims she was sexually assaulted by the prince at Ms Maxwell's home in London and at Epstein's homes in New York and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Ms Giuffre has brought her civil case against Prince Andrew under New York's Child Victims Act, a law that makes it easier to bring claims related to abuse committed years ago. The current widow established by the act is set to close on 14th of August, pending reauthorization by state lawmakers. However, while Ms. Giuffre has been able to file her complaint in time, it is not clear that the Duke of York will ever appear in court in the U.S., since the UK does not extradite people to the U.S. for civil cases. Nonetheless, the case can proceed in his absence, promising a humiliating spectacle, which he can do little to stop, and allowing Ms. Giuffre's team to call witnesses to give evidence under oath. If the court finds in Ms. Giuffre's favor, it can award her damages that the prince would at least theoretically be forced to pay. The complaint is detailed and shocking. Among its allegations are that the prince abused plaintiff on separate occasions when she was under the age of 18, including in New York and London, and on Mr. Epstein's private island, U.S. Virgin Islands, Little St. James. During each of the aforementioned incidents, it reads, Prince Andrew acted with intent to compel plaintiff's submission. In the starkest wording in the document, the prince is accused of knowing Ms. Giuffre was a sex trafficking victim being forced to engage in sexual acts with him. In a statement given when the case was filed, Ms. Giuffre said, I am holding Prince Andrew accountable for what he did to me. The powerful and rich are not exempt from being held responsible for their actions. I hope that other victims will see that it is possible not to live in silence and fear, but to reclaim one's life by speaking out and demanding justice. The prince's office has declined to comment on the case as yet. It is well known the prince was a friend of Mr. Epstein for several years, and that he met with Mr. Epstein after the former financier was first convicted. Pictures of the two in Central Park and footage of the Duke inside Mr. Epstein's house, both from 2010, prove as much. Explaining that particular visit, the prince said in his disastrous BBC interview in 2019 that he went there with the sole purpose of saying to him that because he had been convicted, it was inappropriate for us to be seen together. However, the prince disputes that he had sex with Ms. Giuffre or even that he ever met her, of a photo showing him with his arm around his now accuser as Ms. Maxwell smiles in the background. He told the BBC, I have absolutely no memory of that photograph ever being taken. Yeah, sure you don't. All right, on the second news, it says Hunter Biden confesses on camera that Russians have sickening videos of him committing unspeakable acts. A newly leaked video shows Hunter Biden confessing the Russians stole another of his laptops that's containing sickening videos of him performing crazy sex acts on victims. In the video, Hunter can be seen discussing or compromising material rushes have met on him to a prostitute. He claims the incident occurred while he was close to overdosing on crack in Las Vegas hotel room. The incident means Hunter lost a total of 3 computers, the first abandoned at a Delaware computer store and second seized by the FBI, each likely to hold incriminating and sensitive material on the Bidens, including his father, Flashbang Biden. I spent an expletive crazy amounts of money, Hunter told the unidentified prostitute. I was with these guys. The guy was, not like you away anyway. Each night, he'd be like, there's going to be so many people here, a crazy expletive party, and each night, it's nobody. So anyway, and they kicked everybody out, and they had cleaned up the entire place, and they were getting ready to leave, and I woke up, Hunter continued, and there was this Russian 35-year-old, really nice, pure brunette. She refused to leave, and they wouldn't call an ambulance, and they didn't know whether I was dead or not at first, Hunter said. They checked to see if I was breathing. When I finally showed signs of breath, at first I wasn't breathing. I was in the expletive pool face down, and they don't know for how long. Hunter claims someone stole his computer and did all this kind of like pretend search in expletive. I think he's the one that stole my computer. I think the 3 of them, the 3 guys that were like a little group, the dealer and 2 guys, I took them everywhere. Expletive, everywhere. Crazy, out of your minds. Expletive. The hooker then asked Hunter what was on his stolen laptop as the 2 continued consuming drugs in bed. Oh, they have videos of me doing crazy expletive, sex expletive, Hunter admitted, adding they would use it for blackmail because his father Joe was going to become Prez. My dad, inaudible, running for Prez, he whispered. He is. I talk about it all the time. Watch. No, I'm not going to play it. Daily Mail reports Hunter appeared to be dismayed that if the video was stolen by the alleged thieves to porn or news companies, he would be unable to cash in on the explicit videos himself. I'm worried he gets the money up front and maybe he doesn't do $1 million. Maybe it does 3. Maybe nobody wants to see me naked, he said. Yeah, we sure don't. Maybe it's news interest, and because my dad's public figure, they say we don't have to pay you anything because you're of interest in regular news. I think you should just beat him to the punch, the prostitute replied. I think you should release your own video. Photos on the laptop's hard drive obtained by Daily Mail include pictures of women, Russians' passports, and photos of Hunter's topless, pulling the woman's brunette's hair while she kneels on a bed. Other photos show the woman and 3 young men driving to Hunter's former Hollywood Hills rented home, drinking and partying by the pool, and the 2 women naked with Hunter by the pool. It's unclear whether the Russian woman and the 3 men are the same people Hunter accused of stealing his laptop. Oh, this guy is just such a puke. Alright, it says D.C. Trump appointed judge allows Dominion $1.3 billion defamation case against Giuliani, Sidney Powell, and Mike Lindell to proceed. Of course. A Trump-appointed judge ruled on Wednesday that a $1.3 billion lawsuit by Dominion Voting Systems against Rudy Giuliani, Sidney Powell, and Mike Lindell may proceed. Judge Carlos Nicholas dismissed requests to throw out the junk lawsuit. Dominion Voting Systems is suing the Trump supporter for their accusations that votes were changed during the 2020 elect. Dominion is under fire since the 2020 elect after the impossible win by Flashbang. Newsweek reported. A federal judge Wednesday ordered that 3 defamation lawsuits of $1.3 billion each filed by Dominion Voting Systems be allowed to continue after allies of former President Donald Trump filed requests that they be dismissed. Rudy Giuliani, Trump's former personal attorney, MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell, and Kraken attorney Sidney Powell are all named as defendants in lawsuits that will proceed, alleging that each of these parties made claims without evidence that Dominion Voting Systems had rigged the results of the 2020 Pres-elect by manipulating November 3rd numbers. United States District Court Judge Carl Nicholas, who is a Trump appointee, wrote in a 44-page memorandum opinion where he dismisses requests to block the lawsuits. That Dominion alleges that each defendant made defamatory statements about its role in the 2020 November 3rd, according to court documents they've seen by Newsweek. Document says those statements are too numerous to summarize in the entirety, but Nichols cites several examples of stand-out defamation allegations without backing as grounds for why the defamation suits could be allowed to continue. On the day of the November 3rd elect, Nichols wrote, Powell appeared on One American News Network and declared that Democrats were trying to take the November 3rd from President Trump and that they had developed a computer system to alter November 3rd electronically. Interesting. Sorry guys, I don't mean to be so cryptic about that. I have to be really careful what I say because I'm going to use this on YouTube too. At any rate, this is Don V with Truth Be Told. Hope you enjoyed these videos, and we're broadcasting under partly cloudy skies. Looks like we might be 70 today. At any rate, everybody have a great Thursday, and we'll see you later.